Okay, let's see. You got a couple seconds? I can look at the calendar and see how we can do this.
60-year-old Chuck Detman was laid off from Pratt & Whitney in the year 2000 when he was just shy of 20 years on the job.
There were like 8,500 employees at the facility. Compared to today, there's less than 1,000 on the payroll. When I was laid off, that was my world, so it was a devastating blow. I had that attitude of, well, my employer or my job is my security. I went through the grieving process, just like I would have gone through if I would have lost a relative by death, or some people do it with a pet. So that normal grieving process was absolutely real. There was the anger, there was the denial, there was the loss of self-worth.
While Pratt & Whitney gave Chuck a generous severance package and 6 months of outplacement services, he was still jobless when his benefits ran out.
At that point in time, we thought 6 months was going to be, more than sufficient. Well, I thought, okay, no big deal. I'm going to get a job within a couple of months, and, I'm not going to have any breakdown in salary or benefits. I'm just going to pick up and, okay, so Pratt's paying me today, and ABC Company's going to pay me tomorrow. That didn't happen. And so now we're having to dip into savings. Now we're having to dip into 401ks. I had to adjust my lifestyle, okay, or find other ways to supplement that income. I end up taking part-time jobs in retail. It was humbling.
At age 50, 6 months after he was laid off, Chuck suffered his first of 2 major heart attacks.
I knew Chuck was feeling a lot of anger. I guess I would say I supported him in any way I could. I was there for him. Mm-hmm. And I tried to deal with things one step at a time. I guess that's really what I did.
You did. Channel.
CHANNEL.
Mm-hmm. Our support structure between the two of us had to grow. And she was the rock. She was the one with a strong faith. She was the one that kept me encouraged a lot.
Okay. That's very good. Okay.
All right.
And you know when it's due.
Mm-hmm.
When to do.
Chuck and his wife May take care of May's elderly mother and a granddaughter with special needs. Chuck's one-time vision of retiring at age 55 has been replaced with a new reality.
And at this stage of life, that word retirement isn't even in the vocabulary. My retirement's reduced by over $1,900 a month. So yeah, I get a retirement, but I can't survive on it. But I'm grateful for what I get. So we just have to move on. We have to, and again, we used up all of my 401k. Good morning, today's promise.
Chuck now works as a pastor and marriage counselor through a nonprofit he and May founded. An opportunity, he says, that wouldn't have happened had he not been laid off.
That layoff and what I learned after the layoff created a new career for me. I was in that corporate world and thought that, yeah, that's where life was. When in fact, no, it was more of for what I do today, it was more of a training ground. Again, just feel free, call me. We can kind of coach over the phone a little bit for this first time and see what's going on. I was ordained a little over 2 years ago, and I would have never had that happen and be able to do what I do today as an income, and I don't consider it work. There is the cliche that if you love what you do, it's never work. And I do. I love what I do. It's a passion. Do I give a lot of it away? Yep, I do. Do I have an income like I had? Absolutely not. There's times when we got to worry about, well, okay, where's this all going to come from? But again, by being faithful and depending on our belief structure, we know that it's going to be provided.